What up, what up? Welcome to another episode of the Get Hype AF podcast. I am your host, Mad Whack Jackson. And today we have our special guest with us, Knowledge, or also known as Knowledge is Hip Hop. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, if you're watching, do me a favor and tag your friends, show this out. Make sure we get some viewers in here. And most importantly, at any time during this video, feel free to drop some questions for our guest. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring him on camera. Hell yeah.
I'm over here getting hype as fuck. Hey, I appreciate you having me on, man. Shout out to everybody that's going to tune in. And I've been looking forward to sitting down on your platform.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. And that's a way to make an entrance, man.
Oh yeah.
So everyone, in case you missed me say it before, please welcome Knowledge to the show. Is it Knowledge or is it Knowledge is Hip Hop?
So it's Knowledge, but like years ago, I just realized that like words like that, if you just don't really kind of like spell your name differently, or you don't, if you just have like a word that's a common word, people can't search it. You could search on Google or YouTube or whatever, and it'll bring up knowledge on how to work on cars and how to work on houses and anything, you know what I mean? So in order to zero it down back then, I just did like my website, and my names on all socials and stuff was like Knowledge is Hip Hop with no spaces. And so it kind of caught on like that. But now it's getting a little easier if you go on like a streaming platform and you type Knowledge, because I guess because of the number of streams that I started to get on certain albums, that does show up like easier now for people. And I've also kind of branded like the same profile picture on all streaming platforms and socials. That way, if you're my friend on one and you search me on the other, it should stick out to you what profile belongs to me. But yeah, it's Knowledge, and to anybody like introducing me at a show or something, it's just Knowledge. But when you look up the albums, it's just Knowledge. But if you're trying to like search me through a hashtag or through like a social media profile name, it would be Knowledge is Hip Hop.
All right, so that's a good way to differentiate yourself, like you said, because I can only imagine the plethora of results that come up if you were to just type the word knowledge into a search engine.
Yeah, even in the beginning, like honestly, if you typed in Knowledge is Hip Hop, it gave a lot of pushback, and it would go Hip Hop Knowledge or Knowledge of Hip Hop, and it would all be like KRS-One, and KRS-One is dope, but it was very tough to break through that like search wall, I guess you would say it was. That like in the beginning, it was very tough to find any of my stuff, but now it's the algorithm is helping me finally.
All right, so I guess let's kind of let our viewers get a little bit more acquainted with you. If you don't mind telling us how old you are, where you're from, and where you're currently located, if it's different from where you're from originally.
Yeah, I'm 40. I had a party last year for my 40th that we did a big show and celebration and stuff. So I'm an 80s baby, and I was born in Maryland. I live in Maryland now, and I primarily do shows on the East Coast because friends and family, like it's a lot easier in the area that I grew up in. But I did live in Pennsylvania for 5 or 6 years when I was younger, like elementary and middle school, and then moved back to Maryland again after that.
So what initially got you into the music business? What got you wanting to make your own music?
growing up, I was around live music because my dad played drums in a band. So I was kind of like, when kids weren't supposed to be in the bar after 9 o'clock, me and my sister were allowed in there because our dad was playing drums with the band, and we were there with the entertainment and stuff. So it was kind of like probably like that got me around music, and I listened to a lot of rock and metal when I was like really young growing up because that's what was on in my household and that's what they played at the band practices and stuff like that. So I had a lot of rock and uh, rock and roll influence and shit like that in the music that, like, to begin with. And I think part of what a lot of people liked about rock was like the rebel mentality of like, like, fuck you, like, we're not gonna take it, we're gonna stand up and fight, and for our right, this type of thing. And that carried over into like early hip hop with like the I guess like aggressive display of you know voicing your opinion and being like vocal about community issues and stuff like that. So when I felt like that rock uh, took like a soft turn on like MTV and stuff in the 90s, hip hop kind of took over there. So at that time, it was a thing where like, all the rappers that were like out at that time, the gangster rap was like being a lot harder than the rock and roll music that was out at the time. So I kind of like started taking more to the hip hop and rap on musically that way. So when that happened, I feel like my influence musically, uh, I realized instead of the trouble that my dad had, where he had to constantly find another band. When that band, somebody started, life happened for them or whatever, and they stopped practicing, the whole band had to stop. And then my dad would be searching for another band, and the guitarist would be searching for another band, and all this craziness. With hip hop, I realized, oh, you could just get the instrumental, and you are the band. Like, if you have everything that you want to say, you can literally get it done by yourself. And I think for musicians who can work well on their own and get like you get a little bit more personal with that person, it's a little less music because the beat already has all the music in it for them. You're just kind of like adding your story to it, but still allowing it to remain music and not like overtaking that. So that's kind of why I got into it, is because I went from listening to music to listening to a type of music that I realized you could do on your own. And then, I started being around people at parties where they're freestyling and ciphers and things like this. And I was like, man, like, it's not just what we listen to. This is the life we live. You know what I mean? We're at these parties. We're living the same type of life that we're listening to. So people want to hear our life too, maybe. So I don't know. It's kind of one of those things that's in you, and you just start talking about what you're going through and stuff like that. And especially when you start to feel like, as you get a little bit older, I think it happens for everybody. You start to not like the music on the radio and stuff as much. And it kind of can happen fast for you because you start to see the change in, especially hip hop was about a message and about like a story, and then it went very quickly to about materialism and about possessions and stuff like that. So that kind of made me want to do my own music because they weren't talking about what I could relate to anymore. And so I think like around 16, I started making my own tracks and talking about my own struggles and what I was going through and stuff like that. Cause I'm like, fuck it, I'll just listen to me and my friends talk about the shit that I know I can relate to, that because we all grew up together. And then that just turned into like, oh, they're starting to do live shows in our area that we can get on. And then it just evolved into a culture and a lifestyle, depending where you're at.
Wow. So from 16, you already had like the conscious mindset of, what the radio is playing, I'm just not into, and I want to, kind of I want to tell my story and, kind of give like a wider view out in a sense. That's,
Yeah. And that was around also the time, like, if people remember like the LimeWire days and the fucking Morpheus and uh, all these different apps that people were using to download music at that time. So it was like you could really get like all the music at your fingertips. Like when that happened, it was an explosion of music, and you kind of like could like anybody who was your favorite artist, you could just find every single song they made all the way back to the beginning, the whole discography, all the underground unreleased shit, like everything was on there. So you kind of ran through all the music that you could and knew what you liked already. But I feel like that was a turning point for people with like music, like at least for the crowd of people I hung out with, there was a very little respect for like radio music. Even if you have a favorite artist and they put a song on the radio, people were not really fucking with that song because it was on the radio, because it's getting overplayed, because so many people are listening to it that don't even know about that artist or whatever. Like, I just feel like there was a change in tides where people were not really looking for the radio at that point to tell them what hip hop to listen to. And some people may do that now, but I think it's like younger people, more easily influenced people.
So outside of kind of your father family influence, who is someone you do look to? Who is one of your biggest inspirations in music?
Um, like probably uh, two of my biggest inspirations in music, I think, with the same like time frame or whatever, was probably like Tupac and Eminem, and I feel like that it was because of uh, and the attitude and the energy that they were projecting through the music and the stuff that they were saying, how easily relatable it was. It made me like want to have a turn. Like it made me want to say what I want to say. Oh yeah, something happened with the echo. But yeah, it made me want to start like saying what I wanted to say, and also uh in searching, like I was saying on like LimeWire and shit, you could put like instrumental and then just hit go, and it would just download. I mean, it would just show you like thousands of instrumentals, and some may be like beats that people remixed off of like a well-known radio song, but some were like instrumentals from people who weren't even known yet, that were just putting uh their beats on LimeWire to have people download them and stuff. So when we would be downloading these beats and making like folders so that when people came over for parties, you could put on some instrumentals and people could flow and stuff like that. That would kind of like led me to finding like what type of beat I like and I prefer. And I was able to then like kind of pick and choose what makes me like move, what makes my pen move. And some beats are cool to just listen to, and some beats are cool to just listen to other people on, for sure. But some beats would kind of like touch you and make you like instantly say, man, this is making me think about something. I have to get this down on paper or on the phone or whatever the case is. Like, I have to get this saved somewhere so that I don't forget it later, because that beat's making you feel that memory or that emotion or whatever it is, and that that's something dope that's really important to you, or somebody else is going to be able to relate to, whatever it is, and you just can't like let that feeling like come and go and then forget about it later. So
Yeah, just to let you know, that is actually this extra screen here. It's actually me, so no one's trying to tap into our stream.
no, I've seen that. It said the same name.
Yeah, I'm having some weird audio.
If they tap in, they're gonna just shut us down completely. I know the deal, man. They're out here. Pat Williams told everybody about them.
So you're up with the times. You know all about what's going on. They're just gonna come. Yeah, you said it, man. They're just gonna come shut us down.
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's mainly for my viewers. That's my just pretend that's someone cool over there. That's my alter ego. talking to you and this camera's looking at you. So as of, ooh, okay, this one is worded very specifically because I know in general it is a very kind of a hard question to answer. So currently, what is one of your favorite songs, whether it be mainstream or someone you know personally?
One of my favorite songs right now, it's probably been for like probably like 8 years or something like that. Honestly, it's Joe Budden, "Only Human," and it's a track that was on an album that I had in my car when my last couple of cars have not had CD players, but this car at the time had a CD player, and whatever CD I had in the deck, I just left in there. It was a Joe Budden. Uh, I think it's "All Love Lost," and at the time my mom was went in the hospital, and me and my family and stuff were going like daily to visit her, and this was the CD that I had in the car, and there was a certain couple songs on this CD that would just play, and they just were really dope. And it didn't matter who was in the car with me, what family member, if they listened to hip hop or not, like if they heard especially this song, it really, like, I feel like everybody felt that shit, and it kind of like, I know it got me at least through a rough patch, like of just kind of dealing with the travel back and forth and always doing that. And it wasn't a like CD where, some CDs you get tired of it after you listen to it a couple times and you're like, I got to take this shit out and put something else in. But it was just like, I could play this joint over and over and over again. And then when I saw people on Facebook posting that they were going through things like that I thought were like similar, or that maybe that song would resonate with them, I would post that song on there for them. And multiple people told me that shit like really worked out for them and got them through some rough patches and stuff. So it's called "Only Human" by Joe Budden. It's a pretty long song too. It's like, if you really fuck with hip hop, I mean, it's like a 7 minutes or longer type of song, and it's good. It's not like trash. It's not one of these ones where they repeat the same 12 bars the whole song or whatever. So that would probably be the one that I would say right now without even like thinking about it, is "Only Human."
All right, so same question, but this time out of your own collection of music that you've made. Do you have a favorite?
I don't. So I would say that my favorite, my favorite right now is "Fuck You," because it's the song that is pushing the rest of my songs on like streaming platforms, YouTube, Spotify, and because it's going to drive the traffic to everything else. Like right now at this point, since most of the traffic comes from that's my favorite, because it's doing what I would hope that the music would do, and that's kind of like spreading to other people, that not people that I'm going to meet, but spreading through people to other people. And I think that song is one that's at least doing that, and it's kind of showing me that other songs can do that. As far as like my favorite, usually what is my favorite, and it's the same with other artists, it's like my favorite new song that I've heard from myself, or that a different artist that I haven't played out yet. So like I might have a favorite song from before, and then I've played that song so much that it's no longer my favorite song, because I just know it so well that I don't even want to hear it like that much anymore. I want to hear like I have like favorites on each project probably, but when it comes to a favorite overall song, I think it would have to be "Fuck You," because I feel like that song is bringing new eyes to all of my projects, and it makes it to where like every single one of them somehow got me through, you know, drug court or probation or the loss of like a loved one, a friend, you know, something close to me, some topic that I wanted to get my voice heard on. Like they all serve their purpose like that, but the more people that listen to each song, I think the more chance that it is now that that song could do something, the same thing for somebody else that I don't know. And that's when I look at the comments, I guess, on like Fuck You on YouTube. And I wish that all of the platforms, I wish that there was comments on like Spotify. I don't see any way that people can leave them, but YouTube is great for that. So when I see comments and they're saying, yo, this is like the best song in the world, shout outs from Algeria, shout outs from Morocco, shout outs from Rome and all these places. And I'm like, yo, I want to travel to these places. And it's crazy to think that like somebody in that area of the world already listens to your music and not just like heard it from somebody, but actually like seeking you so they can take the time to leave you a comment. I mean, I have people who go to the shows like on the regular and everything like this, and you never expect people to like take the time out and leave a comment. It's just like Yelp. Nobody's leaving a comment about like how great the restaurant was. They're really leaving a comment if they had bad service or if they thought something was trash. So a lot of times when people are taking that time to seek you out and leave a comment, it's not a good thing. But one in this case,
you've seen a lot of positive from there.
I see the most positive from that song, and I know from as being like an independent artist, like still on the come up, that type of shit is motivating. When you see that and you're like, you're just working on some shit, you might be having a bad day, and you get another comment comes in on the random, and it's like from some country. It's like, fuck yeah, I gotta keep doing this, you know, like not just for myself, but because other people fuck with it too.
All right. Well, I actually pulled that video up, so we're gonna see if we can't possibly play this Fuck You video real fast. So let's give this a shot, you guys. We're gonna try to play Fuck You from Knowledge. Hopefully it'll work.
Problem is not chemical or biological, it's psychological. What we're witnessing here is the spontaneous combustion of a pent-up rage fueled by frustration over a pressurized society. It's the snapped postal worker on a national level.
I spit deep, 6 feet with my wrist bleeding. You wanna keep on talking shit, well then bitch see me. I'm like the crypt keeper coming from the dirty blocks, and ain't gon' bore you with no war stories till the murder stops. Fuck the dirty cops, ever since they murdered Pac, real motherfuckers coming up is almost sure to flop. They getting more to drop that lame ass club shit than call it hip hop, lip locked on a thug's dick. I don't suck shit, I'm not the one to fuck with, and through paying dues too. Can't nobody touch this, won't nobody rush this. I crush it with my bare fist. Look into my eyes and realize that I ain't scared of shit. But don't be staring if you scared to cherish what I spit. Married to the game, and I'ma play it till I'm filthy rich. They say I killed this shit every time they play the track. If something that I said offends you, good, cause I don't take it back. Fuck you, fuck her, fuck him too. You motherfuckers wouldn't understand the shit I've been through. Fuck a snitch, fuck the judge, fuck the police, and every other motherfucker acting like they know me. Fuck you, fuck her, fuck him too. You motherfuckers wouldn't understand the shit I've been through. Fuck a snitch, fuck the judge, fuck the police, and every other motherfucker acting like they know me. I'm the beast from the east when I'm on the beats, robbing in the hood like Sinbad's 40 thieves. Give me 40 freaks with 3 holes each, so I can keep them on their knees for over 3 whole weeks. That's 20 plus days while I'm puffing on the haze, stepping on your alligators, scuffing up your J's, and I'm fucking up your days. I don't give a fuck either way. If it's duck is being made, fuck it, show me the way. Throw the weed away, they coming with their badges out, lights on, guns drawn. What the fuck is that about? They must be mad about the money that we've been stacking. It's just weed, they was acting like we Bin Laden. Smoking flavors ain't no terroristic threats. We just cop it from the first man and share it with the next. You can spare me with the stress, go and share it with the rest. Keep your mid-grade breath, bitch, I'm married to the cess. Fuck you, fuck her, fuck him too. You motherfuckers wouldn't understand the shit I've been through.
Okay, so basically, I am going to stop it there because what I like to do is if you viewers want to see the rest of that video, you have to go follow my guest and give him that stream. So YouTube, specifically, if you want to watch the video, Knowledge is Hip Hop. Again, that was Fuck You.
Yeah, and that video is actually so popular now, it's also uploaded to Facebook. So if you search that video on Facebook, you'll find it as well. And because, 1 second here. Because it's so more popular with the algorithm, it makes it easier actually, because when I look into my analytics on YouTube and see like what's bringing people there, what are they typing to come to my page, it's Knowledge Fuck You and Fuck You Knowledge. So this is actually now the easiest way to search me, is either Knowledge Fuck You or Fuck You Knowledge. If you search that on Spotify or Apple or whatever, it'll take you straight to my profile on that site, on that, because it's the most popular song on all streaming platforms for me.
So I have to ask, watching that video and now, how old is that? Because you look quite different, my guy.
Yeah, so that song, we dropped that song actually 10 years ago, Fuck You. And so a lot of the video in there is from like 10 years ago to 5 years ago. And the crazy thing is like 5 years ago, my videos and my ciphers and everything like that, I didn't have any gray in my beard at all. And unfortunately, like starting in like, I think it was 2015, my grandmother passed that year. And then the next year, my mom passed. And the next year, my uncle passed. And then 2 years later, my other uncle passed. And then a year after that, my best friend Erica passed away in a car accident. So it was like one death after another, like that were like very close family members. And I think it just made my fucking beard and shit gray like instantly. So everybody's like, just leave the stripes there and all this shit like that or whatever. So, but yeah, that's how much can change in 5 years. From 35 to 40. I mean, but I already had like gray hair. Like when I was like 15, I had like some chick found a gray hair in my head and pulled it out. And then they said I was going to be cursed at that point for.
That's what they say. Don't ever pull them suckers out.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, this is all 5 years of deaths and stress, really.
I understand that, and my condolences to you, man.
It can happen fast, man. Like when you go through a lot of shit, man, it can actually just like fucking. And then the fucking pandemic and all that bullshit that happened. It was just, I feel like, a stressful period of time for everybody. Like in the last 5 years, for sure. I don't know, but. The good thing is I could go right to Walmart and get a little bottle of some shit and change this joint back instantly. You know what I'm saying? But I'm waiting until I'm on the run or something like that.
Well, we got a comment in here, calling you a silver fox. So I don't know. Maybe you should run with it.
I've heard that one a couple of times. That's funny. Thank you, Honey420. I see the comments in there. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good looking out.
So that might be kind of a good segue to ask this question. Do you have a song in your collection that kind of makes you emotional? Whether it be, toward the up emotional, down emotional, just kind of really just makes you emotional.
Yeah. I'm the type of artist that like on one hand I feel like it's good out of respect. Like when you lose someone that's close to you and you have like some things on your mind, you can get that shit out in a song and be able to share it in a way that other people could like listen to the track, and even if they don't know that person, maybe there's some type of like way they can relate that to a person that they do know, and kind of like get it like a feeling and still be able to appreciate the song that way. So I do a lot of that type of work because I have dealt with a lot of loss. But at the same time, it sucks because then you feel like, Jesus, you should have fucking done these songs while the person was here. And you never feel like that all of those feelings and shit are not rushing you to make you want to write that song necessarily right then. You might be focusing on something else or whatever the instrumental is making you think about at that time. But I know that the last like major loss that I dealt with, like was somebody who was living around me for like 5 years straight, like was living in my house when she was in the accident and everything like that. So it's like it was somebody who was part of my daily routine, my like daily schedule, and we were around each other every day. And also like a lot of the people who were at shows and stuff, like anybody who was close to me was close to her, so they all like felt the same like loss. So there's like a show that I did where some of the songs that I did right around that time, I did them live, and definitely got like emotional with those songs, like performing live at that show, which was, I think it was only like a month or two after she passed. But at that time, like there was a point where I was working on some music, and I was just working on some stuff that like kind of was like aimless. It was like pick a dope old beat and just throw some bars on it that doesn't have a hook or doesn't have a concept. It's just like just bar it out. So it was really like freestyle rap, I guess you would call it, like over top of these like dope ass beats that were very classic that everybody fucked with. So I was focused on that, and I was dropping them every week. And like right when her accident happened, it was like I realized every single one of these tracks now is like starting to have this undertone, like where I'm talking about this, and no matter what I start talking about, it works its way back to like me talking about the losses that I suffered recently, and things that I'm saying to them. So I realized at that point, I was like, you know what I need to do? I need to pick some beats that really make me feel the way I need to feel to get all this out, and I need to do a tribute album. And I did an album called Wrecka Forever, and it basically just has all of these tracks on there, with the verses to her and to my brother, who I lost like when I was younger, and my older brother, and my mom, and I had like friends get on there and put verses and hooks to our friend that we lost, or another friend put a verse to his brother. It was basically like a whole album, a tribute album, like with that type of feel. Got that out of the way, pay respects, and then moved on, and able to get like the album that I have coming out now. It has its own feel. It doesn't feel like it has this lingering emotion that didn't get worked out yet. You know what I mean? So I think that was the first time I had to do something like that, where it was like, okay, I need to work on this one project, get all of this stuff out, and that way I can move on with new subject matter and not feel like I'm not paying enough respect or something like that before I move along.
So
and the project came out great. I feel like everybody has said it came out great, and it was a different sound for what they're used to me sounding like, but that they were like really, really fucked with it tough.
So could you kind of say like that almost was like kind of almost helped you work through those kind of those emotions and that feeling, and kind of, you know, accept in a way that, what am I trying to say? Here's the emotional one.
For sure, I feel like it makes, like, and doesn't matter, like, it's because I've had some different things I've had to deal with, like some in the past being set up by somebody to get me charged with something so they can get a lesser charge, and then, you know, dealing with this drug court and all this stuff, and, you know, and it gives you something to write about, like real experience and stuff, and it's not something you want to go through, but it's definitely material, and the way that you work through it mentally is by writing it down, and then it's kind of cool that you can put it out there and other people will listen to it, because a lot of people will go to a therapist and pay a therapist to talk about the same things. It's like, really, if you can talk to the mirror and tell the mirror all the same things that you're going to go tell the therapist, you could save your gas and your time and all that. But a lot of people need somebody there to listen so that they're going to keep going, because they hear something like some type of recognition, like, okay, or keep going, something like this. Like, but if you're able to just get that shit out and then you're done with it, like, you really don't need it anymore. But for me, I do listen to my music a lot more, like, after I put it out, and because I can obviously relate to it, and also to see, is there songs I want to shoot videos to, songs that I want to do live. I want to have these memorized in case somebody at a show like is like, hey, do you want to do this song? Yeah, maybe I know it. Like, so I do listen to it still, but even if I never heard it again, it served its purpose when I wrote it down. And when I see other people listening to it and saying like, yo, this one means so much, or I've felt like this or that, or I've dealt with something similar, that shit's refreshing. That's like, you didn't even make anything new. You're moving on with your day. You're working on something totally different. And then they keep reminding you off of this comment, like on a new comment on something. And that's why I think it's dope. Like, I know that streaming doesn't pay as much as like albums. Well, as much as they say albums were, like when you bought them from the store. But a lot of people don't even realize then, like, they were getting 10 cents per album. So they were getting like a half a cent per song. And then those people could listen to that song.
Yeah. Rumor has it that we can hopefully be looking forward to some changes in how we kind of get paid for our streams. So, I mean,
I heard a penny stream on Apple and Spotify, but that would be cool. But I love it. I honestly love it, because if I don't know that, you know, that the amount of people who were able to get their CDs in stores and stuff like that before, like through even Koch or Def Jam or whoever they had to get through. I mean, man, you're just listening to right now all of the shit that Puffy was making these motherfuckers do to get their CDs in stores, promising Grammys and shit, like whatever. I'm not down for that. So I feel like if it wasn't for streaming and it wasn't for me being able to go and get my own independent fucking distribution and have my shit on streaming and shit, then there's 100 and something countries, like 100, whatever, however many countries are streaming on Spotify that are actively streaming me yearly, that I'm not doing shows there. I'm not over there hand to hand selling CDs. I don't have a wholesaler out there that I'm shipping CDs to through customs or none of that shit, man. That's a joke. To think that I'm going to reach the same amount of people with my message and with my voice as I would through streaming. If I was just like, nah, fuck that. You have to order a CD from me from my website and I have to ship it to you directly. And that's the only way you're going to get it. I will definitely ship a CD directly as well. No problem. But nine times out of 10,
your point. Absolutely.
Is available online, you know, and that's why I like it, because there are people who are able to comment. You know, if somebody buys a CD from me at a show and I never see them again, I have no idea what they thought of that. But I can go right on my YouTube, channel, and that's what I love about it. That's why when I share a YouTube link on Facebook, I tell people, please go comment on the YouTube page, because that's there forever. This post that I made on Facebook that you're telling me, yo, that's so dope, it's like, that's going to get lost in the sauce. That's going to get deleted by Facebook at some point, or it's just going to come up as a memory once a year. But for like the comments that go on our YouTubes, especially, you know, when you're trying to do a platform like this, people leaving comments and clicking the like button. Everybody who's in the room right now, click the like button on the thing, because it helps the algorithm. And then even though you're leaving a live chat, if you leave a comment in the comment section, that helps the algorithm too. So the like helps it, the comment helps it, and click and share and sharing it to your page, that helps it. And if you do that for a podcast that we're on, or if you do that for like a song when it's saying that it's coming up, and you can click your notification on, you can leave a chat comment, a real comment, a like, you can do all of that right then, and it pushes that up in the algorithm before you even go live. You know, if there's a day or two before, it's making more and more people see it, because it's getting that the same way as if you can save a song before it drops on Spotify or something like that. If you're able to pre-save the song before it drops, then that shit right there helps us move the song up in the charts on Spotify.
It helps us get playlisted. It helps it come up in your suggested for you list,
Yep.
new, and all of that stuff. So everything that he just said, please, 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 we're going through the same thing. We have the views going up, but like you said, for some reason it's there's no likes or comments on YouTube, and that is just I don't know why that's just a thing. Why you're watching the video, you guys. So if you, as he said, I again would appreciate anyone who is watching this from YouTube right now, if you could just simply go like this video. That would help both of us so much. And my guy, you're totally tagged in this video, so any of my viewers watching this, go to the description and make sure you follow his channel, and go do the same for him. Go like some stuff, go watch some stuff, and if you're really feeling like you want to be supportive, click that share button and share it out for us too.
Yeah, I'm realizing there's two chats that I'm trying to keep up with both. I see April, Randy, Candy, all of you guys in there. Shout out to everybody that's made it in there. I see a bunch of Brian Lovejoy, and then I see a bunch of people that I don't know. So everybody whose name I didn't say, that I either just don't see you in there. I'm trying to do like the live chats instead of the top chats, and keep up with that. And Facebook, I mean, that is Facebook and YouTube. And I see Patty in there, and Jamisha, and Sunray, and Sticker Stash was in there earlier. I think that he might not be in there, but shout out to everybody that's tuning in. But yes, that is the way that you do it. Like, if you can like it. So, like with Fuck You, the video that you showed earlier, I didn't even have a video up for that. So this is another reason you're like, yo, how old were you in that shit, my dude? Because the video is only 2 years old. But what happened is sometimes your old work catches on to somebody. So it catches on to a playlist or something. And so as an artist, you can't just be like, oh, this song, hey, Carrie, I see you. Carrie is there too. Spin Right. Shout out to everybody in there. As an artist, you can't be like, oh, that's my old album. I don't fuck with that anymore. I'm doing new stuff, because somebody else might not have heard that. That might be new to them. And when artists sign to somebody like a major label or something, they usually go back and pick like their best songs. Even Eminem did it when he did his album with Dre. He took his best songs from the Slim Shady EP and put those toward the Slim Shady LP and built from that. So, a lot of people use their oldest, best work toward their like major debut or whatever it is. And that song, once I separated my name knowledge from the other knowledges on YouTube and from the other ones on Spotify and on Apple and everywhere that would allow me to do an artist for their platform account, and I could go in there and separate it off, and then I could start promoting mine and getting my own followers. That was like maybe 2 years ago or so, and since then, Fuck You started going. It went from like 1,500 views to like, you know, thousands, and it was like climbing up because there was a comment on there from 2 years ago where the guy was like, "Sad faces. This only has 1.5K. It needs more views." And then like within a year, it went up to like, I think it was like 80,000 or almost 100,000 or something in 1 year. And it was a lot of traffic coming from Spotify. So I was like, fuck, they're only going there and seeing the CD cover. And all that views was going to the CD cover. And I was like, it didn't have a video for it yet. It was just cover art. And so I told my boy, I'm like, yo, I'm going to dig into all of my old shows. And I've been performing Fuck You at shows for like years now. So I just dug in and went from like the album release show to like shows that I did with Mischief in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and shows that I did like all around the like up and down the coast on tour, like Philly, Brooklyn, DC, all these joints, and I combined clips from all of them together and clips from the crowd of people like doing like Fuck You and shit. Like, so we just pieced that shit together when we didn't shoot a music video. We just used old footage and put it together so that people, when they would search Fuck You, it would bring them to a visual instead of just the album art. And even now, like the album art still has more views. It still gets more plays because I think that's what they're used to seeing on Spotify, is they're used to seeing the album cover. So they go straight to what they're used to seeing, and that's what gets them more plays. But, you know, whatever is bringing them there, I tried to start adding like subscribe, like little subscribe buttons and shit that would like remind people to subscribe when they're on my channel. I start adding like things at the end of the fucking videos that say, remember to like and subscribe, because people, they do like the content that we put out a lot of times, but if you don't remind them that that's what they need to do, they're on to the next video. And that's just the society now, is like click, slide, whatever. Like I'm seeing what's next. And but if you remind them real quick, it might be like,
can you remember the name of? There's a actual name for it. One of my friends recently looked into it and discovered that it's an actual thing. It's where if it's in your face and it's present, you're more likely to just, you know, remember and react with it, versus other things that aren't constantly in your face just kind of tend to fade away. And it's not so much that you don't care. It's just, that is unfortunately how our brains have kind of morphed into the time frame of how we live nowadays.
yeah.
I hope that made sense. And I want to reply to this comment real fast, because you can't have my couch. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, Candy is from the couch cult. You got to get used to it. She comes to all the podcasts looking for the couches.
No, that's great. I had that, couldn't stop. They made that comment, and I couldn't stop thinking of that reference, and I had to say it.
Yeah. Fuck your couch.
So you have referenced a couple times about being able to perform out of state. Have you had the opportunity to, where have you been able to go?
Pretty much every state, I think, on the East Coast. I mean, we've performed Maryland, DC, Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, New York, Jersey. I don't know about Delaware. New York, Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Maine. I just did Maine actually the first time on the Lethal Winter Tour with Gibby Stites and Fury on like I think it was February, middle of February, and then
So by
so
chance, did you get to meet my buddy Messi the Man on that tour then at any of those shows?
oh yeah,
Because he was on that one
yeah, I
with
know
Gibby.
Messi. Yeah, yep, Messi was on Rhode Island, Connecticut, and then he was there again on Queens in New York on the last day. So yeah. I know Messi. Shout out to Messi. He's good people's. I knew him from prior shows and shit that we had been on together, venues that we've been at together before. So yeah, he's good people's, and he knows a lot of the same people that I know as well. I saw he's on the next one with them as well. So shout out to those guys for keeping the tours going. So yeah, I've done some stuff like that, and then I've done some like Ohio, some like Indiana. I did a show in Indiana with the homie Grim Smiles. I can't even remember all the states, to be honest, that we've performed in, but it has definitely been a lot. I did a lot of ciphers in even more states like Texas and Oklahoma and a bunch more states that we went to with the cipher circuit that we were doing ciphers with before. So, but yeah, man, it's been a blessing. I like traveling. I like being on the road, and I like doing shows like out of state. And it's crazy, man. I really you say I definitely missed VA. I said Virginia. I said DC, Maryland, DC, and Virginia. Was that the first thing I said, Patty? Hey, I'm
Out
still
of the places
auctioning Patty's poster in case anybody wants to know. What'd you say? Out of the places?
out of the places that you've performed so far, do you have a favorite?
There's a couple venues in Pennsylvania that have become like our favorite venues, and the crowds are pretty dope there. That's in Harrisburg, the HMAC, and that's Phantom Power in Millersville. They're both in Pennsylvania. Those are really dope venues that I like performing at. But really, I like performing for new crowds. So if I can get to a different state and perform like for a crowd that's gonna fuck with my shit, I like the next state. Like I like all the ones that I've performed at so far. I love them, but I also want to like check off the list the other ones. So I think that if I had an opportunity between a new state and one that I've already done, I would like to do the new state unless I know for sure that the event or the crowd at the place that I've already done is one that I don't want to miss out on. So it's
So that kind of actually leads me into my next question. If you had the opportunity to headline any venue anywhere, where would you choose?
I don't know. That's a crazy one there. I would like to. I would probably like to headline like a tour in like in Europe or in another country or something like that. And it doesn't have to be like a venue, not like be like, oh, Madison Square Garden would just be that thing or whatever. Like that would be dope. But it would also be dope to do like a tour in another country, and it could be like smaller venues that like pack out with like people who are really there to like party. You know what I'm saying? Like, so where you get a taste of these countries that you visit. You know what I mean? Like some crazy fucking bar in Ireland where, you know, they're all 150 Conor McGregors in there or something like that. You know, they're just going ape shit. But it seems like that would be cool than just like doing this one place. But one that I just thought of that is actually really dope is Red Rocks. I mean, if I had to pick like a local place in the U.S. that I could headline a show at when the weather is right, it would probably be Red Rocks in Colorado. But the coolest show that I've been to, I think was Red Rocks. Yeah.
So
I don't know. In the chat is yelling.
I don't know if you guys can actually see this in my camera view, but way back there, that's Red Rocks right there, as a matter of fact. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to somewhat. You may not be headlining, but you are streaming live from fucking Red Rocks right now, motherfucker. How's that?
Damn, that's crazy.
So,
that is crazy.
No fucking joke. That is where we are located right now, as a matter of fact. So,
damn, it's a small world. The simulation was at play. Yeah, I went to Red Rock in 2015 for 420. I was there for a show that I believe that the people who got the tickets had to have Cannabis Cup tickets maybe to get in there, but it was Nas, J Boog, and Soulja, and it was crazy to me because I was at a show, my first Nas concert ever, and he was the opener for Soulja. And Soulja is actually from the DMV. They're from Northern Virginia, like Fairfax area, I believe. So they're like I would say local. They're like a local homegrown band that's got like Grammys now and has people like Nas opening for them at the Red Rocks. That shit's like that type of shit is inspiring when you see that, like, to come up with people that you're like, damn, man, you never thought that they'll be put on level as people.
I know exactly what you mean. So right now, I basically want to take a second and just remind anyone watching to please drop any questions you guys might have for my guest. That is a huge part of this show. So if you guys tuning in have any questions, please drop those in the comments. And I also want to just kind of throw the floor to you for a second to announce anything that you might have coming out or any shows you might have going on, and give any shout outs to anyone that you might just want to give love to.
Yeah, I wanted to give shout out to your show, to the Hype. Do you say Hype as fuck or Hype AF? Hype AF, I guess. I'm sure I don't know what it means though.
It's all the same. Hype as fuck,
gotcha.
Hype AF.
Yeah. A shout out to you guys, and also to the Bartle Boss show, and to the Chopping It Up with the Jack of Hearts, who've already had me on their shows. To the Fuck Bro podcast, who also did like a review of the first music video from the album when I dropped it for Burn. So they did a dope ass review, and when I spoke with them, they decided they would do an actual album review for the whole album. So I pre-sent them the album. They've done the album review, and it's going to be released on Monday at noon, so that people can tune in and chat live while we listen to their review of the album there on the Fuck Bro podcast. They have a dope ass platform for anybody who's got songs that they want to send in and get reviewed or something like that. They give real, honest, unbiased feedback for real, and that's pretty dope and hard to find. And then I wanted to also shout out Undergroundaholics. We're going to do a show tomorrow that's going to be a preview of the album ahead of time before it drops at midnight. And so you're going to get to hear the album early. And I actually went ahead and sent them some music videos for some of the songs that are not out. So people are going to be able to hear the songs as they, premiere, and also see some dope visuals that have not been out. So it's going to be really dope. That's going to be live, and that's going to probably be like my third or fourth interview on their podcast. So they've always been awesome. We've done like different album reviews and shit with them. And so anybody who's not acquainted with them already, like cross promote, connect with them. Undergroundaholics is dope. They just won the Replicon Podcast of the Year award. And it was their first year. So they did all that in the first year, and I see them doing big things. As far as like things that are dropping, I send you over a image for Cypher that's going to be dropping today, actually in 45 minutes. Probably once this show is up or whatever, on Mischief the Rebels channel. It's Dope Sick Picnic Volume 1 from the Street Soldier Cypher series. And it's a cypher that we shot at the Dope Sick Picnic last year, at the end of the night after everybody got done performing, and we just fucking popped on the headlights and did like a circular cypher with the cars, and just fucking went off right in the middle there. And it's Candy Bars, myself, Freak, and Mischief the Rebel, all on a cypher, and it's really dope. So that joint's gonna drop today on his channel. Anybody who hasn't subscribed yet, it's Mischief Official on YouTube. You could just go on there, click his name, click subscribe. You'll see the Dope Sick Picnic cypher image there on his page, and you can click notify me when it's going to drop, and it's going to say that it's probably like 40 minutes away from releasing or something like that. So that's a pretty dope like cypher series that Mischief started up, and really has been like fucking, popping them out here and there, like showing that we've gotten some dope ass artists on cyphers at the time that we've met up for shows, and kind of make double use of that time when we're at the same location or same venue with each other. And I know he has a couple more coming out that are going to be dope, and he's planning on shooting a lot more this year. So that's only going to get better as well.
So, I can show the thumbnail image. I can pull up real fast. This is the image for Artistic, one of the newer ones that's coming out.
Yep. So this is for the video that's going to be dropping for Artistic. And that video is going to premiere on Undergroundaholics tomorrow night. The show starts at 8. And then it's going to be available at midnight on my YouTube channel for everybody to play anytime, anywhere. And that was the first song that I dropped off of the album, but I only just dropped the song with some artwork. It was not like it didn't come out with the album artwork. It came out before I knew what the album artwork was going to be, so it just had single artwork. But now it's going to have a music video. So even though that was the first song that dropped on the album, the visual has not been seen yet for that. And the album that I have dropping, most people know that are in here, but it's dope as fuck. It's The Fifth Element. Knowledge is the fifth element of hip hop. And so I got finally got the hard copies in. Boom. So I'm gonna have them with me every day from now on till they're gone. There's only a limited copy number of these, and they also came with. Let's see if. Well, let's use Patty's poster. because this is the one that's probably going to be worth the most. This is the one I signed for Patty right here. You can see the Patty, you are the best. But just because it has her name on it doesn't mean it has to go to her. Anybody in the chat likes this better? Patty gave me permission to sell her poster and write some like second place type of message on her, on the another one for her. So I know she's in the chat. But anyway, the hard copies come with a poster signed to Patty, and the hard copy. They're also going to come with some sticker packs. Like it comes with like a knowledge sticker, road trip sticker. It comes with, depending on which number order you are, it may come with like knowledge vinyl like this, and one of these type that has the knowledge vinyl. I have them in black, in blue, and red, and white, and pink, until supplies last. I'm not getting those anymore because I changed the logo. So there's going to be a bunch of different things, and also there's like these pictures. I don't have them right here, but they're basically this image or the middle image right here from the CD cover, that logo right there, but on like a postcard that's framed. So all of that shit comes with the hard copy. If you hit me up to get the hard copy, you can get the bonus shit until supplies last. If there's no more stickers, there's just no more stickers. There's not like anything that I can replace that with or make an exception or anything. I can't add anything in. So the people who get it earliest, they're gonna get the most bonus shit with theirs, because they're going to get a vinyl, a sticker of every kind or whatever. And as soon as that shit starts running out, like I said, I'm not getting these stickers made again. I'm not getting these type of vinyls made again, because those old logos are not going to be reprinted on shirts, stickers, vinyls, or anything like that. So tossing in some dope extras. Hit me up about the hard copies. You can hit me up at knowledgeishiphop@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on any social media and get at me about hard copies. And I'll, depending on if I can meet you in person, we may be able to eliminate the issue of shipping. Or if it's shipping, you can let me know if you're cool with the poster being folded, or if I have to ship the poster separate. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people don't want their shit folded, and I've realized that shipping posters is like a little bit of a pain, but we'll get through it together. It's one of the coolest things. This is the first poster I've gotten done with like my hard copies ever.
So I don't know if it will, if for shipping posters only, I can throw you a little tip. Just instead of folding them, tubes work much better to roll them, because then you won't have the fold lines, and they'll ship better. And for the customer, like I said, they won't end up with any of those horrible fold lines in them. So
yeah, I was looking at
an option.
Yeah, they had tubes, and then they also showed where they were cutting like a piece of cardboard, the length of it, and then they folded it in a triangle that was just big enough for the poster to be inside of, and then taping that shut along the edge. And they said that's pretty strong for it. So, but
yes.
Now Patty's
yeah, definitely, you guys. It looks like he's got some pretty dope. Go ahead, my man.
Oh, my bad. I said it looked like Patty was having seller's remorse in the chat there, saying no, don't sell her poster. Well, I have a limited number without her signature. I mean, without my signature to her on it, so that don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I appreciate you about the merch. Go ahead, what you were saying.
Just you guys, it looks like he's got a bunch, and it's a limited edition. So go, like I said, just message him directly, or knowledgeishiphop@gmail, I believe is what you said.
Yep. All one word, no spaces. Knowledge is hip hop. at Gmail. Correct.
All right. And we do have a comment question, which actually this question is one of my questions. So thank you for asking this, honey, because it is one of the ones I go to. If you could have a feature with anyone, big and small, who would you want to work with?
I guess you know what? This probably changes. I mean, of course, if I had like a feature, like an Eminem feature, I mean, that would be dumb. But like that, I mean, you just can't. But I think right now, as far as like the music I'm making and the music that other people are making right now, I think that the easiest to mesh with for me would probably be like Jelly Roll or like Mercules or the Millies, maybe. Like the type of flows that these guys have, and I think that they're all in like the like making it stage, but they're still very hungry. So they're still, I feel like they're competitive in a sense that they're not gonna just be lazy if they want to feature. They're gonna really like want to be a part of it and a really good part of it. But I also think that they're aware of different vibes for different songs and how to fit those different vibes the right way. Like I think all of those people would be dope. Any of those. I know that's not one person, so that's kind of like a cheat code. But I could pick any one of those people out right now and switch out with somebody else. And I think that because they're not already like made it and then kind of like not over the hill, but just made it and then passed, you know, it's like there's a lot of people that I look up to that I would love to be on a track with, but I don't feel like that they would be a feature. Like not like they're a lot of them people will take over the song like an Eminem. It becomes their song at that point. It's not.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. You get your fucking verse back and it's 50 bars, and then you don't want to tell him to cut it down. Now it's his song.
Yeah. So for you, what are some strategies that you have and ways to grow, or in other words, your 5-year plan if you have one?
It sucks, but everybody has to talk about algorithm now. So I feel like that's the biggest thing, is to understand like how to work smarter. Like whatever you're making, figuring out how to get it in front of more people, like how to get, you know, whatever. Like I've been trying to figure it out with making like better thumbnails and adding like subscribe reminders and adding things at the end of the video to remind people to subscribe, and like updating like profile picture across the board like once in a while, and updating like the cover photos and different things like this that you don't really want to care about as an artist. Honestly, you really don't. As a musician, the last thing you want to care about is how to make your fucking social media look better, or how to make your website look better, or how to whatever. You just want to really fucking do music and perform shows and try to sell merch. And that's it, really. Like maybe like come up with the ideas for merch and stuff, but you got to do all this extra shit. You got to do this extra footwork, schedule the shows, make sure the shit's on the up and the up, promote the shows, sell the tickets. Like until you're that artist where, you know, there's some label or somebody standing there like being, okay, we have this show booked for you. You're going to be doing whatever stadium. The tickets are already being run through, you know, Live Nation, and Ticketmaster's handling that. So like you don't sell any tickets. The machine is already moving that for you. You know what I'm saying? Like that everything is already at everybody's fingertips. So those people can really focus on just hopping in the fucking car and, you know, getting to the show or getting chauffeured to the show and, you know, preparing themselves. Whereas as an independent artist, I mean, we're doing what? We're focusing on making sure we promote the show and making sure we get the tickets gone and that people are going to know what time to get there and where you park at and all this. It's like, come on, man. If this was not me, you would be fucking figuring that out. You're not calling up fucking, you know, Taylor Swift and asking her, hey, where do we park at when we get there? Who fucking knows? 6 blocks away if you have to. Don't fucking call me. You know what I'm saying? Was an independent artist, we're catering to everything. Oh, you can park right around here. We're trying to hold you a parking space and shit like that. Like, I don't got a life. I don't have anything to do. So a lot of times I show up there like on time as I can and as late as I can at the same time, because the earlier I get there, the more I'm going to be leaned on or relied on, because I'm there and I've already scoped the situation and all this shit. And it's like, I already am doing some other shit. You know, you're already getting your merch ready. You're already making sure you got that shit set up. You're already making sure everything is lined up for the night, and that the people that are going to be there on your set are going to be able to make it, and that nobody's got car problems, and that everybody's got their tickets. It's like there's a ton of shit like that make it tough.
And that's just, I mean, tip of the iceberg, really, because that's just to get ready for a show. Not even to mention, like you said, if you aren't signed and have someone helping you, you are responsible for uploading and distributing all of your own music. Some of us are responsible for creating all of our own artwork and cover arts, and like you said, everything that we need to update our profiles. And then on top of that, we have to go and put all this effort in to try to get our music airplay, like playlisted, and like you said, pushed up an algorithm. And like, not only that, but we have to run so many social media sites. There's Facebook, there's Instagram, you got to keep up on your YouTube channel. Now there's TikToks, and
this is why so I know you asked like the 5-year plan. My plan really has been like kind of to build my YouTube. And it's been like that for probably the last 2 years. So I don't know if you would consider me in the middle of that. But I feel like your YouTube is that thing where if you're on Twitter or you're on Facebook or you're on whatever the fuck you're on, everybody's using YouTube. And if they're banning TikTok, more people are going to be on YouTube probably. Like, and the YouTube has shorts now and the reels and all that stuff. And they have where you can like comment and share and at people. They're starting to add all that other stuff in. And I feel like everybody has YouTube on their phone. And if they don't, if I put all of my effort into YouTube, into my channel, and put all of my stuff in one place there, that people can come to YouTube easier and find me, whether they use Twitter, whether they use Facebook, whether they use whatever. And that's kind of been my plan for the last 2 years, is I've been putting all of my music on YouTube. And if I'm able to, I'll put it on streaming also. But if I'm not able to, then it'll only be on YouTube.
Where it's at.
Yeah, I like YouTube. I think that it works good for me. I'm trying to build my subscribers up there. And I feel like just like a mailing list, if you get all your subscribers in one place on YouTube, you can monetize like whatever it is that you're doing, whether that be the podcast or music or opening toys or whatever people do the fuck like on YouTube that gets the money. They're able to monetize it there. And people were able to monetize it on TikTok as well. I'm not saying that they weren't. And there's people doing it on a lot of other platforms. But I feel like if I want to be able to share my product to people on any of those platforms, if it's on YouTube, it's the most shareable to everybody.
So on that note, anyone watching, the ticker on the bottom is you can, if you're watching this from Facebook, there is the ticker on the bottom is the YouTube address. to watch this channel and this stream and any other past streams from Hype AF. And for anyone interested in watching this episode, like I mentioned earlier, if you click in the description, my guest is linked. So go click on that, and you can also go directly and follow and sub his channel as well. So to anyone watching on Twitch, also we're just streaming on Twitch or Facebook. Go do us both a favor, and like he said, go help us grow our YouTube channels, because it's extremely, extremely helpful.
It definitely is. I mean, it's honestly, I feel like everybody who's moving their, like, what they do to YouTube is like ahead of the curve, and the people who've already done it early, like Joe Budden and Joe Rogan, people can see what they did. They turned that into hundreds of millions of dollars worth of podcasting and contracts and stuff, and it's YouTube is really where it's at.
All right, so I'm actually down to my last two questions, so I'm going to remind my viewers one last time. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop those in the comments now. And for this one, this is my coveted Hype AF question. So I need you to kind of answer this question hype as fuck, if you will. What is your most favorite, most memorable hype as fuck moments that just comes to the top of your head?
Well, definitely like some of the more hype as fuck moments, like performing, that we've had recently have come at like the two venues that I mentioned earlier, HMAC and Phantom Power. We've done some shows where we opened up there at Phantom Power for Cottonmouth Kings, and it was a fucking really lit show. We ended up shooting, we ended up shooting a music video for Ride or Die at that show, and it came out ridiculous. That show was really hype as fuck, and there was two shows that stand out at HMAC in the upstairs stage. One was opening for Bone Thugs and Harmony, and one was opening for Chris Webby, Echo, and Ritz. And those shows were like, when we came out on stage and you just look at this fucking crowd that's already there so much earlier than the headliner, and it's like wall to wall to wall, like the whole way through, and you know that you can really MC a crowd like that, like, because when you're telling somebody like, yo, you know, we got the fucking Go Ape is about to come on, we want to see a mosh pit right here, and they just fucking like robots, they just open up and turn into a mosh pit right there. Like, you're orchestrating this sea of people just because they're there for music. They don't even know who you are yet. They don't know what the song is yet. They're just like, oh shit, they're telling us to fucking get it done, so let's. And then you just watch them move out and start just circling around, and it's like, oh shit, you really have the control of a large group of people at this point, because now they're influenced by each other and what they see the other person doing. They don't know if that person knows who you are, or maybe they're just the only one in the dark, you know? So I think like in some of the shows recently, that shit was dope as fuck when we had a group of us up on stage, me, Mischief, LJ Heist, 3XG, Grim Smiles, everybody's just up there, and they've got so many people to look at, and everybody's full of energy, and they're just feeding off of that, and you're feeding back off of it. So in recent memory, those were some of the doper ones that were like stand out, is because when you go out there and you're in front of a crowd, that's the type of crowd you always want to perform in front of, but you don't always have that in front of you, you know?
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. I don't want to misinterpret any of my people watching who have been to my shows, but I know exactly what you mean. There's your group of people who you're absolutely just thrilled are there, but when it's a group of people who you can look out and you don't you don't recognize and they're getting hype, it's a completely different feeling.
Yeah, it's definitely is.
All right, so my last question of the show. This one usually throws most of my guests unless they watch. So, what is your favorite dinosaur?
Oh man. Huh. I used to, this probably throws you off here, but I used to probably did have a favorite dinosaur before, when that's the first thing I started drawing as a kid and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was his first thing that in art class I started making out of the clay and the shit like that. But it was like it was just probably like recently in the last 2 years that I feel like I don't believe that dinosaurs are a real thing. So well, I can still have a favorite one, but I just don't believe that they were existed.
You even
yeah,
made the kids cry, man. You're gonna make me cry. You're making the kids
that's
cry.
the thing. I don't want to fuck it up for everybody. Is like Santa Claus is real for a certain amount of time, but I don't think that it's a real thing. But they find like a chip of a bone, and then they build a whole thing off of it, and then they make fake bones to put in the Smithsonian's and things like this. So nobody gets to see a real one. But I really like the T-Rex, like growing up, because it was just like king shit. You know what I mean? Like the great white shark, the fucking apex predator or whatever. But then I think that Jurassic Park fucking fucked it up for a lot of people, because they made the Velociraptor a badass that's smarter, that's like smaller, and he can take them down, and he can, you know, outsmart people and all that shit. So the sneakiness and the cleverness and all that stuff, like of the aura of those ones, that's dope. I really think that's tight, how they're like maneuverable and they can get in and out of places and stuff. But as far as like brute force, I think that the T-Rex was probably easily my favorite, like growing up. And I was interested in all of them. I wanted to know every single one and all the, you know, Latin names for them and all this stuff. But now I'm just not so sure. I feel like, damn, man, they lie about everything. Everything.
Well, I can't dispute you there, because yeah, I mean, they lie about everything. So I cannot dispute you. But to tap on what you just said, T-Rex being the king shit and origins and whatnot, that's the translation, or I guess technical title is King Lizard. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah, like Godzilla.
Yeah. So yeah, King Lizard, he is the boss shit. All right, so that actually those are all the questions I got today. So unless there's anything that we might have forgot, or you know, just want to tap on that I didn't get to ask you, go ahead and, you know, take the floor again, my man. Just fill us in on anything I might have skipped, or you just want to let us know about.
I don't know if any of those other the email that I sent you with the pictures, I don't know if that came through. But there was
did.
one
I ran out of time and I didn't get to.
Got you. And it doesn't just like do a share screen. Got you. So, yeah, so I'll just say I have a couple videos coming out. I'm not going to say how many, but they're going to be coming out for the album. They're going to come out with the album. I decided to try something different this time and see how it works if I just release the videos up front and never have like an album artwork video for the same song that I'm gonna have, like how Artistic, I'm about to drop the video for it, but I already have a video on on YouTube with the old CD cover. And it's like when people go to search that, now they're going to see two different things. They're going to see the one that is the video and the one that is not the video. And so I'm thinking to do this on one hand to eliminate that, to have less doubles where one is the artwork and one is the actual video. And also to see if people come back and play it more or share it more at the drop of the album, because there's visuals that go along with the songs. So there's going to be, like I said, there's going to be a lot of videos that drop with this album at midnight, and they're going to be previewable on the Undergroundaholics podcast tomorrow at 8, after everybody's full for Easter and all of that. And then on Monday at noon, there's going to be an album review done by the guys at the Fuck Bro podcast. Like I said, they're unbiased. They're dope. I'm looking forward to see what they say, because they're not ashamed to say, hey man, we're not feeling that track. That's not really what we like. So I like that type of energy. And then I also have some music videos dropping. Me and Mischief are both going to each drop a video on each of our channels. One for the Road Trip is a song that we did for an album we did called Road Trip. And that video is going to be dropping. And then also one called Rebel from the Unstable Genius album. Both of those videos are ready in the tuck, and we're just kind of waiting for the cypher that he's dropping today and the album that I'm dropping tomorrow at midnight to simmer for a little bit, and then we'll drop those videos for you guys after that. But we got a lot of good stuff coming up. Like I said earlier, we have that Dope Sick Picnic Volume 1 is dropping at 2 o'clock. So make sure that you go to Mischief's channel, Mischief Official on YouTube. Put your notification on. That's going to come on in about 10 minutes. We're going to be over there talking in the live chat while that drops. And I appreciate this right here. I'm going to put some more artists onto your platform and have anybody that I know reach out to you and see about possibly highlighting some stuff that they have going on, or, introducing themselves to your platform and your viewers, because you also have some viewers that are people that I've never met before. So, that's really dope. That's like the best thing I could do it for, because I'm trying to bring the people I know around to all the podcasts that I'm doing right now, but I also want to be able to touch on new audiences, and I think that's awesome.
I'm glad you touched on that, because I want to that's exactly why I do this, is to spread you guys around, give you guys some extra push, and introduce some people to you who may not know about you. And hopefully, it's not my goal, but if it's returnable, all the better. If I gain some people from it, awesome. But the main goal here is to just help you guys spread word. So if you have anyone who you want to bring on the show, anyone is more than welcome on my show. If you're watching now and you're like, hey, I do something, it does not have to be music. If you run a small business, just message me. I am about spreading love and just awareness for whatever it is you're doing. So go ahead and message me. And I wanted to, you keep mentioning Undergroundaholics, and I see them in the chat. So I wanted to maybe ask both of you guys, would it be, can I tag that YouTube channel in the description as well? Would that be something that's going to benefit you guys as far as getting better reach?
Yeah, I think you could. And I honestly, and I don't know if they've ever done this, but I think it would be cool for Undergroundaholics also to do show like this, where, especially if it's not always like an artist or somebody, where they can explain what it is that they do, because they do a little bit different setup than every type of podcast, and sometimes they do album reviews or exclusive album release type of shit, or sometimes it's just interviews or whatever. But I think it's cool, every podcast that I know, the Bartle Boss show that I started this run on last week, he is always in the Undergroundaholic shows, like in the chat, and they do cross promotion, and they try to also work on like ways that they can make their shows better, or things that they can do for better promotion, or get more reach, or things like this. So I know that there's a lot of like cross promotion, and it's not like a competitive thing. And I think it's dope. So definitely you can tag them in anything, and you can also connect with them, and maybe like you guys can get on each other's shows or whatever and explain what it is that you do and for what type of audience and all that shit. It's just dope. It's a lot of cross promotion and networking.
Yeah, no, I dig it, and I'm not sure if it is the same one, but I actually think that I follow them and some of their groups on Facebook already. So if it is the same one, because so many, like kind of we touched on the beginning, there's so many people with the same names on there, but I do think that I am currently
I think you are. I think we run in the same circle.
Collaborate with you guys if that's something you're interested in.
Yep, awesome. I love it.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so yeah, you guys hit me up and send anybody over that you want my way. I'm more than happy to help, and vice versa. If I can help, anyone connect with you, message me. I can link you up with him. Hit this guy up for some merch. He's got the shit going on.
The Fifth Element, 7 song.
I am gonna have to bring this to an end because I am running out of battery power and all that good stuff. So
we appreciate you guys, everybody in the chat. Much love. And if you're in the chat right now, go over right now to the Street Soldier Cypher Dope Sick Volume 1 on YouTube. I'm going to drop the link in the chat on Facebook. Go there now. We're going to fuck around in the chat there until it drops. Let's go.
Hell yeah. So just head over there right now, you guys. Thank you so much for being on the show. I just want to let you know that you're absolutely more than welcome to come back on anytime. So next time you got anything big coming up you want to talk about it, just message me. We'll hook you up on another show. And last but not least, I send every single one of my music guests off now with hopes of over 1 million streams on every single thing that you drop from here on out in your future.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thanks for coming on the show, and mad props. Go catch him on, say that YouTube channel one more time for me.
It's on Mischief Official.
Mischief Official. So go check him out, and thank you, my man, for coming on the show. Till next time, much love.
Bang, bang.
All right, you guys. Big shout out again to my guest today, Knowledge, or Knowledge is Hip Hop, one word. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a huge favor and go check out this link right here. Drop me some stars, or go check out the link in my bio and donate to the podcast so we can get you better equipment, better quality streams, and do more fancy stuff. And it is never required, but again, it is deeply appreciated. Like the YouTube channel, sub the YouTube channel, turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. We have more coming up. I believe my next one is Monday with HBE. And that's going to do it for my show. So thanks for watching. Tune in and watch with me. What did I say? Monday. And until then, stay hype as fuck, you guys. Mad love. Love you guys. Blah, blah, blah. Mad Whack out.
officer was really nice. So he told me that there's a truck, you know, that hilltop where we usually see the cop parked up there. And we're like, how the fuck does he get up there? He gave me directions. And he said, there's a truck stop up there. You can park up there and nobody will bother you. And then he was like, we can't have RVs in here anymore. Unfortunately, I was like, even during the day? He goes, yeah, even during the day and overnight, we can't have RVs in here. But there's a truck stop right over there. No, he just pointed out the sign. But then I was like, okay, can I have like 15 minutes? My wife is in a podcast. She promotes music artists and stuff. I just have 15 minutes so she can wrap it up? He goes, I'll tell you what, I'll go make my rounds. And if I get back and you're still here, I have to write you a ticket, but you got 15 minutes. Bam. I think it's really cool that he showed me where to go.
Go ahead and get it started because I really don't want a ticket. Probably already have one from fucking the other day. I didn't get a fucking charge at all. Well, I had to plug my headphones in and I was streaming. Of course I wasn't gonna charge.
We are going to a little truck stop, so we should be able to run the generator there.